Welcome back. We've got the 1983, I believe it is, Yamaha QT50 yellow edition. First and only yellow one that I've had. Um, I've done quite a bit to this, but I'll probably want to talk about one main thing. Um, well, there's a lot to talk about on this. What can I say? I've done a lot to it, and it still needs a few minor things, but we're almost there. Knock on wood. Of course, I'm going to jinx myself by saying, I'm pretty much done. Uh, but such is life. Anyways, the special thing about this is I'm about to tell you. I'm about to let you know. Let me get my gloves on. I've got other projects. I'm restoring the headlights on that Hyundai Santa Fe that I ended up with. It's a long story. Hey, but if it's got an engine, I want it. I want the thing. Third time's a charm. Uh, this is the three-position switch, and I found this on other ones. You've got start or off, start, and run. And when you go from start to run, sometimes you have to turn it back just a tad from run towards start to get the lights to work. I think it's just something to do with the age of the ignition cylinder or whatever. But I've had that on several. Got the GPS set up here. The speedometer. This is the third speedometer I've had on it. It's my best choice so far. But it does not accurately measure the speed. Of course, probably none of them. Excuse me. Probably none of these speedometers do. But this one even more so. I think the top speed, according to the speedometer, is like 12 miles an hour. I've lubricated it. I've cleaned it out. Maybe with riding and use, it'll finally work itself out. Sometimes that happens. I don't know. But anyhow, the main thing I wanted to talk about here was what I've done to this particular stock QT50 49cc engine. And I should have included this in the video because I've got another one. I bought a copper spacer, which is about 3 millimeters thick or so. I forget how big it is. I think this one's 3. And I took the cylinder to a machinist, and I had him, it's called deck the cylinder, which is basically I put the spacer behind the cylinder where the base gasket goes, and that pushes the cylinder forward. So to kind of make up for that difference, you got to take 3 millimeters off the top of the cylinder where the cylinder head connects. So the piston will come all the way out to the end of the cylinder. And the reason I did all this was because in the stock form, the QT50 engine, the piston, when it goes to the bottom of its stroke, still covers a significant portion of the exhaust port. Maybe I should take off the cylinder head to show this. But it doesn't fully open the exhaust port. But if you bump everything forward, you're basically moving the exhaust port forward. Of course, there's other ways to do this too. This is just the way I chose to do it. The piston now fully reveals the entire exhaust port and then some. So what does this do? It does a couple things at the same time. If you fully open the exhaust port and leave it open for a fraction of a second, it allows the engine to expel more heat and exhaust gases for each piston stroke. And of course, if it's expelling more exhaust gases, this has the effect of also sucking more air through the air filter into the engine. Engines are in essence air breathing. And so the more air, of course if you add more air you got to add more fuel, which I did. I increased the main jet on the carburetor. So more air, more fuel generally means more power. And so I put that theory to the test. This is something that I'd read about in my research on these type of bikes. And so far so good. Just kind of warming it up now. But in stock form, without any modifications, you know, you're lucky to get 29 miles an hour, maybe 30 miles an hour on one of these bikes. I got it, and I found out later that I had low air pressure in both tires. I got it up to 33. So, you know, a 10 or so % increase. And I think with proper air pressure in the tires, and then I'm actually going to put on a bigger rear tire, a taller rear tire, which means overall bigger diameter. If you're spinning at the same rate with a bigger diameter wheel circle, you should increase your top speed as a result of that as well. So I'm thinking I could probably scare 35 miles an hour on a 49cc single speed noped, which I think is pretty good. Actually, I think it's amazing. Okay, we're letting the horses run here. I've got a car or something up ahead I have to slow down for. Yeah, this guy just backs out right in front of me. You don't get any respect. All right, here we go. Let the horses run. So, if you go back to one of my other qt50 videos with just a stock one, and maybe get to a top speed run on that, and compare the sound of the two, I mean, this thing, when you're riding it, you're a little scared, because it's like, I kept thinking to myself, okay, do I have the jetting right? Do I have the jetting right? I'm waiting for this thing to like overheat and seize on me. 31. But, oh, another one. I got somebody else trying to back out. It hit me. That's the danger with riding these things. You know, people, I don't know what they're doing. They're not paying attention. You know? So anyhow, yeah, going up this incline on a regular bike, I'm lucky to get 24 miles an hour. And I was doing 28 plus uphill. Some people might be watching that and thinking, oh wow, 28 miles an hour. Well, you know, it's all relative. And we got this little tiny noped with a 49cc engine, and it is just going with a fever. It's got a fever, and it needs more cowbell. And then the other advantage to the engine modification is mainly the acceleration is a lot better. It's still kind of slow from startup. I think they always will be. No way. No way. And I've got somebody's calling me. in the middle of my test ride. I'm trying to GPS this. Don't they understand? I'm doing big things here. I'm doing important things. Like, I can't take a phone call right now. Listen to it as I crest the hill. I mean, it just wants to go. I just got after I got the call, I just got an alert saying I got a voicemail. So I was like, I gotta fix this. Close. Thank you. We're doing some important stuff here, okay? Important stuff. I was just saying that, man. Important stuff. Listen to that idle. Listen to that idle. Don't worry about me. Well, so enough about the engine work. I tell you, I had a nice little run right through here too. And actually, before I was going against the wind, but some of the other stuff I was doing, I had an issue with the turn signals and the headlight not working. The turn signal turned out to be the flasher relay, which I replaced, and the headlight ended up being a loose wire. Sounds simple now, but when you're in the heat of the battle, you can't figure out, you're trying to chase down an electrical issue, man, that'll drive you nuts. The speedometer, I think I talked about that already. When I got it back, the speedometer, the guy had hit something and ripped the studs out the back of the speedometer, so I had to just get a new one with the studs in it. New air filter. I could probably even go with a slightly bigger air filter, but it seems to be running fine here. Changed the seat. The seat's not perfect, but it's a ton better than what was on there. This is actually the second time I've had this bike. I got it back from the original buyer. He'd had it for about 1.5 years, and he'd worked his magic on it. I'm waiting on a new rear tire, as I talked about. I've got a couple of things to straighten out on it. What else did I have to do on this thing? You forget now, right? Besides put the new top end on. Yeah, I've forgotten what else I've done. I need to clean it up a little bit. I started to clean it up some. Anyhow, this is the best run in qt50 I've had and that I've done. Starts up real nice. I've got it. I took out the oil pump. I'm just running around 40-to-1 gas fuel mix in the tank. I'm actually using the oil tank as another gas tank. I hooked up both of them with a fuel T. And so it gives you a little extra capacity, which is good because this thing definitely uses gas at a faster rate than the stock qt50. thought I'd let you listen to it there. I've got about another 10 minutes of footage, but I'm just going to cut it short because this is running a bit long. But yeah, this thing's a blast. I kind of hate to see it go, but I've got plenty of others. Maybe I'll get another one. Until next time, ride safe.